So this is the last video for chapter 9. It's going to cover learning objectives 4 and 5. So this one is effective techniques for refusing typical requests and claims. When you refuse typical requests, you first have to think about how the receiver is going to react to your refusal, decide whether direct or indirect. And we've been talking about this, so 2 chapters. If you have any doubt at all, use the indirect strategy. Businesses must occasionally respond to disappointed customers in print and online. Many times disappointed customers are turning to the internet to air their grievances. So complaints about products and services appear on sites as complaints.com, iripoff.com, I don't know any of those 2 sites, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, and other social networks. Large companies have social media staff members who monitor negative messages online and solve problems whenever customers voice their discontent. A lot of the larger companies like Coca-Cola and some of the other fast food restaurants have their own Twitter line that customers can come and respond to their Twitter line, like a complaint line, and then they have people that they pay to monitor their corporate Twitter lines and respond to customers right away. Rejecting requests for favors, money, information, and action. It may come from charities, friends, or business partners. Many people represent commendable causes. In a letter from Heartland Management Associates, we're going to look at it in a minute, figure 9.8. The company must refuse a request for a donation to a charity. Following the indirect strategy, the letter begins with a buffer acknowledging the request, praises the good works of the charity, and uses those words as a transition or a way to get to the second paragraph. Then in the second paragraph, they explain why the company can't donate. Notice that the writer reveals the refusal without actually stating it. Because of internal restructuring and the economic downturn, we are forced to take where it goes on to say a much harder look at funding requests that we received this year. So that's going to be on the next page. These are examples. So here we go. Here's your old friend. Look familiar? Pre-writing, drafting, and revising. You analyze, you anticipate, and you adapt. In your pre-writing, in your drafting, you do any research on the organizations it's requesting money. Organize the indirect strategy, begin with complimentary comments, then draft it, then edit it, proofread it, and evaluate with this message retain the goodwill. So this is Heartland Management for a guide dog center. We're pleased over years you were able to partner with Guide Dog, that we were able to partner with Guide Dog Center and assist its program that provides guide and service dogs. We appreciate your recent letter describing the exceptionally worthwhile vet dogs programs that offer trained animals. Now, supporting the good work and worthy projects of your organizations and others is a luxury. They use the word luxury, so that should give you right there a clue that's what's happening. We've enjoyed in the past. Because of internal restructuring and economic downturn, we are forced to take a much harder look at the funding requests we received this year. We feel we must focus our charitable contributions on areas that relate more directly to our business. That's no without saying no. We are hopeful that the worst of the economic slump is behind us, and we can in the future again partner up with you. So it's not a permanent no, it's for the moment no, but check back with us later type no, okay? Some donation refusals, the reasons may not be explained. Although we can't provide financial support at this time, we all unanimously agree the Make-A-Wish Foundation contributes a valuable service to sick children. Okay, so declining invitations. You generally try to provide a response that says more than I can't or I don't want to, unless the reasons are confidential. And then we're going to look at figure 9.9 that talks about declining an invitation. The refusal is embedded in a long paragraph and de-emphasized in subordinate clause. Although your invitation must be declined, So concentrate on the main clause. I would like to recommend. So this first part is a buffer. News of your leadership position in Delta Sigma Pi, the campus business honorary club, fills me with delight and pride. Your father must be so proud of you. You honor me by asking me to speak at to your group in the spring. Because the firm has not yet adopted such a code, we've been investigating codes developed by other firms. I'm decidedly not an expert. I have met others though, and so I can't do it, but I would like to recommend this person who is the Institute of Internal Auditors. I spoke with him about your club and he indicated, so I can't do it because I don't have the experience, but I found somebody else for you. So that should be a yay. It's good to learn that you're guiding your organization towards such constructive and timely topics. So hey, if someone's going to turn me down, it's a good thing they find somebody else for me because that makes the work a whole lot easier. Dealing with disappointed customers in print and online. So here's where you kind of practice your tactfulness. Merchandise is not delivered on time. A product fails to perform as expected. Service is deficit. Charges are erroneous. Customers are misunderstood. Okay, so strive to control the damage, resolve such problems. Call or email the individual or reply to his or her post within 24 hours. Describe the problem and apologize. Explain why it occurred, what you're going to do to resolve it, and how you're going to prevent it from happening. Promote goodwill by following up with a message that documents the phone call or acknowledges the online exchange of posts. In other words, you do have to put something in writing that you talk to this person. It's to protect yourself and protect your company. Responding by email and in hard copy. When personal contact is impossible, establish a record, which is really important. Formally confirm follow-up procedures and promote good relations. We're going to look at a bad newsletter in line 10 that's on the next page. Found herself in an embarrassing position of explaining why she'd given out the name of her client to a salesperson. It is so wrong. It's called client confidentiality. Client Accordia Resources International had hired her firm, Azad Consulting Associates, to help find an appropriate service for outsourcing its payroll function. Eva had mentioned to a potential vendor that her client was considering hiring an outside service to handle its payroll. That salesperson immediately called on Accordia and angered the client. She first called her client to explain and apologize. She was careful to control her voice and the rate of speaking. The letter not only confirms the telephone conversation, but also adds the right touch of formality. It sends a nonverbal message that the writer takes the matter seriously, and it warrant enough a hard copy letter that's going through snail mail, but an actual letter. Many consumer problems are handled with letters, either written by the consumers or as complaints or companies in response. Managing negative news online. Customers now, a lot of them are impatient, and they embrace the idea of delivering their complaints to social media sites, which your current customers and future customers are going to read. Why rely on word of mouth or send a letter to a company or a defective when you can shout your grievance to the entire world? As a company owner, you would rather they don't. Just things happen. Message boards such as Cruise Critic encourage consumers to quickly share complaints about stores, products, services. Twitter, Facebook, Angie's List, Yelp, and many more are also favorite sites. There's even a commercial on TV now with Yelp that one of the regular shows is threatening a company. Oh, it's a sitcom. And one of the stars of the show is a customer somewhere. He's sitting down at the restaurant and he looks at the waitress or whoever, it doesn't show who he's looking at, and says, "You better treat me right because I belong on Yelp now and I will bring this place down." Yeah, it kind of says it, doesn't it? Complaint sites are gaining momentum. Consumers may receive fast response tweets than do customer service calls. In addition, sending a 140-word tweet is much easier. Well, this says 140 word. It's a little typo. Twitter will only take 140 characters, not 140 words. It's much easier than writing a complaint, email, businesses can employ some of the following effective strategies. So, recognize social networks as an important communication channel. It can work for you or it can work against you, depending on how you want to handle it. Instead of fearing social networks as disruptive, smart companies greet these channels as opportunities. Become proactive. Company blogs and active websites with community forums help companies listen to their customers. So you have your blogs out there, you're doing good, you're letting them know what's coming down the pike, you're talking to them through a blog, okay? Or you have people that's handling things for you that way. So here's the Azad Consulting Services. We're going to look at it real quick because we already talked about it. You have every right to expect complete confidentiality in your transactions with an independent consultant. As I explained in yesterday's telephone call, so they've already called her. Now they're following it up with a letter. I'm very distressed that you were called. This should not have happened. I apologize to you again for mentioning your name. All clients of Azad Consulting are assured their dealings with our firm are held in strictest confidence, but they blew it. Because your company's payroll needs are so individual and because you have so many contract workers, I was forced to explain how your employees differ from those of the other companies. Revealing your company name was my error, and I take full responsibility. I've informed payroll services I had no authorization to call you directly, and they had no authorization to call you directly, and its actions have forced me to reconsider using services. So the other company messed up too, and I'm not going to do business with them. So whenever possible, call RC, describe the problem and apologize, explain why it happened, take responsibility, what you're going to do to fix it, how it's not going to happen again, and follow up with a message, documents, personal contact. Wise companies have joined Twitter, Facebook, Flickr, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Monitor comments, have someone monitor comments, or you monitor the comments to see what's out there about your company. When domain registrar and internet hosting provider GoDaddy experienced nearly 6-hour-long service interruption, affected websites of more than 10 million customers, the company responded swiftly and took to social media and used multiple channels. 10 million customers is a lot of customers to hawk off. So figure 911 shows a blog post by GoDaddy CEO Scott Wagner addressing the bad news head on and apologized to customers. So CEO addresses September 10th service outage. We owe you a big apology for the intermittent service outages we experienced. Service outage was due. Okay, why did it happen? It was due to a series of internal network events that corrupted router data tables. Once the issues were identified, we took corrective actions to restore services. So that's what happened. What are you going to do about it? We've implemented measures to prevent this from occurring again. At no time was any sensitive customer information, credit card, passwords, or names compromised. So my data was still good. We have provided 99.999% uptime in our domain system. We've done this. We have let our customers down and we know it. I cannot express how sorry I am. We have learned. I'd like to express my profound gratitude to all of you guys. We are thankful for your straightforward feedback and the confidence. We will reach out to affected customer in the coming days with a good faith gesture that acknowledges the disruption. Okay. An almost identical message was sent out by email offering a 30% discount on any new product or renewal to compensate for the loss of service. And just to make sure things went okay, company provided frequent Twitter updates, status alert, hey all, we're aware of the trouble people are having, we're working on it, updates, still working on it, but we're making progress. That in the 24/7 news cycle and facing internet that never sleeps, company lose if they snooze. Handling problems with orders. If you've ever ordered anything, you know it can be a mess. Okay, so the example they give is you represent Live and Learn Toys, a large West Coast toy manufacturer, scrambling for business in a slow year. Big customer Child Land calls in August and asks you to hold a block of your best-selling toy, Space Station. Like most vendors, you require a deposit. September rolls around and you still haven't received any money from Child Land. So what are you going to do? You must now write a tactful email asking for the deposit or else you're going to release the toy. Problem, of course, is delivering the bad news without losing the customer's order and goodwill, but you don't really know if you've got the order, so you have to be careful. Another challenge is making sure the reader understands. You're smart to reserve a block of 500 space stations, which we have been holding for you since August. As the holidays approach, the demand for our learning toys, including the space station, is rapidly increasing. Next paragraph. Toy stores from Florida to California are asking us to ship these space stations. One reason they're moving out of our warehouse so quickly is its assortment of gizmos that children love, including Land Rover, shuttlecraft, so on. As soon as we receive your deposit of $4,000, we will have this popular item on its way to your stores. Without a deposit by September 20th, though, we must release this block. So you need to either pay us or, we're going to sell it. The closing makes it easy for expedited service. Please call our sales department at this number and authorize deposit using your business credit card. Announcing rate increases and price hikes. Whenever possible, give advance warning of rate increases. Because you are an important customer to us, I want to inform you about this right away. In the digital environment, rate and price increases may be announced by email or online. Figure 9.12, which is the next figure. Sorry if I made you go nuts. Citi had to increase the charge for access to Blu-ray movies by mail. In its blog, it explained how Blu-ray discs are not only superior to DVDs, but more expensive. Note that the rate increase is tied to benefits to customers. Denying claims. Customers occasionally want something they are not entitled to or that you can't grant. They misunderstand warranties or make unreasonable demands. Price update with access for Blu-ray explains expansions of Blu-ray DVD collection, describes how costly these films are, and justifies an increase. This paragraph connects increased cost to bigger library and wider choice of movies. So this is why we're doing it. This is what's in it for you. If you have any questions, down here. Fortunately, the reasons before refusal plan helps you be empathetic and artful in breaking bad news. In denial letters, you need to adopt a proper tone. Don't blame the customers, even if they are at fault. Avoid you statements that sound preachy. You would have known the cash refund. Okay. No. Use neutral, objective language to explain why the claim must be refused. In figure 913, the writer denies the customer's claim for the difference between the price the customer paid for the speakers and the price he saw advertised locally. The email to Stephen Dominique opens with a buffer that agrees with a statement in the customer's email. Repeats the key idea of a product confidence as a transition to the second paragraph. Next comes an explanation of the price matching policy. The writer does not assume that the customer is trying to pull a fast one, nor does he suggest that the customer is a dummy who can't read or understand price matching policy. So you're treading on, be careful. The writer also gets a chance to resell the customer's speakers and demonstrate what quality product they are. It is evident to the reader that his claim is unjustified by the third paragraph. Denying the claim, this is how the claim would be denied. Combines agreement with resale, price matching without actually saying no, shows why it can't be honored. Continues resale, looks to forward future business, positive closing, implied refusal, reasons, buffer. When you refuse credit, Fair Credit Reporting Act and Equal Credit Opportunity Act state that consumers who are denied loans must receive a notice of adverse reaction from the business explaining the decision. And then they get referred to the credit reporting agencies, which is Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So you avoid language that causes hard feelings, retaining the customer on a cash basis, prepare for possible future credit without any false expectations, avoid disclosures that could cause a lawsuit, such as, we generally appreciate your application of January 12th for a Fashion Express credit account. To avoid possible litigation, many companies offer no explanation of the reasons for a credit refusal. They provide the name of the credit reporting agency and suggest The inquiries be directed to it. After we receive the report of your current credit record from Experian, it is apparent that credit cannot be extended at this time. So learning more about your record, call Experian. Don't look to me. Thanks, Ms. Lev, for the confidence you've shown in Fashion Express. We invite you to continue shopping at our stores, and we look forward to your reapplication in the future. Okay. So whatever form the bad news message takes, it's a good idea to have the message reviewed by legal counsel. Okay. So last objective, managing bad news within organizations. Whether you use direct or indirect strategy in delivering the news depends primarily on the anticipated reaction of the audience. Generally, bad news is better received when reasons are given first. So when you deliver bad news in person, here's the pointers on how to do it. Gather all the information, cool down, have all the facts before marching in on the boss or confronting someone. Prepare and rehearse. Outline what you plan to say so that you're confident, coherent, and dispassionate. Explain past, present, and future. Like a computer crash, what caused the crash, the current situation, and how and when you plan to fix it. Consider taking a partner if you feel a shoot the messenger reaction. Bring a colleague with you. Think about the timing. Don't deliver bad news when someone's already stressed or grumpy. And be patient with your reaction. Give the receiver time to vent, think, recover, and act wisely. Refusing workplace requests. Here it is to refusing an internal request. Announces the bad news too quickly and painfully, overemphasizes refusal and apology, makes a promise that might be difficult to keep. This is to let you know that attending the conference in October, Dawn, is out of the question. Perhaps you didn't remember that the budget planning meetings are scheduled for that month. We really need your expertise to help keep the updating of our telecommunications network on schedule. Without you, the entire system, which is shaky at best, might fall apart. I'm really sorry to have to refuse your request to attend the conference. I know this is small for the fine work you've done for us, but please accept our humble apologies. In the spring, I'm sure your work schedule will be lighter and we can release you to attend a conference at that time. Okay. So, better way to do it, the entire Management Council and I are pleased with the exceptional leadership you provided in setting up video transmission for our offices. The last 2 weeks in October have been set aside for budget planning. As you and I know, we have only scratched the surface of our teleconferencing projects for the next 5 years. Because you are the specialist and we rely heavily on your expertise, we need you here for these planning sessions. Which note do you like better? Do you like this one or do you like this one? If you are able to attend a similar conference in the spring, and if our workloads permit, we'll try to send you then. So which one feels better? I like the revision, don't you? Okay, announcing bad news to employees and the public. Age of social media, damaging information can rarely be contained for long. Executives can almost count on it to be leaked, so corporate officers who fail to communicate effectively and proactively may end up on the defensive. Morale can be destroyed when employees learn of major events affecting their jobs through the grapevine or from news accounts rather than from management. They don't like to be blindsided. The draft of an intranet blog post shown in figure 915, it's on this next page, announces a substantial increase in the cost of employee health care benefits. However, the message suffers from too many problems. It announces jolting news bluntly in the very first sentence. Worse, it offers little or no explanation for the steep increase in cost, and it sounds insincere. So let's go look at it and see what it looks like. Again, announcing bad news to employees, there's pre-writing, drafting, and revising. So same thing, analyze, anticipate, and adapt. By the time you get through with this class, you're going to be able to say these in your sleep, but they're really good to follow. Research, organize, and draft. Edit, proofread, and then evaluate. So let's look. The draft begin January 1st, your monthly payment for healthcare benefits will be increased $119 a month for a total payment of $639 per employee. Every year, the healthcare costs go up, although we consider dropping other benefits. Northern decided the best plan was to keep the present comprehensive package. Unfortunately, we can't do that unless we pass along some of the extra cost to you. We did everything possible to avoid the sharp increase. They didn't have to use the word sharp in cost to you this year. A rate schedule describing the increases in payments is enclosed. So let's look at a nicer form. Healthcare programs have always been an important part of our commitment. We are proud that our total benefits package continues to rank among the best in the country. Now, such a comprehensive package does not come cheaply. In the last decade, healthcare costs alone have risen over 300%. We are told that several factors such as Just 2 years ago, our monthly healthcare cost for each employee was this. It rose to this. We are able to absorb it, but this year's hike, we can't. Northern continues to pay the major portion of your healthcare program at $520 a month. We think that's a wise investment. And then there's a schedule. So which one do you like, that short little one or more of an explanation? Which one feels better for you? Which one sounds better? Two more pages and you're done with me. Okay, saying no to job applicants. Being refused a job is one of life's major rejections. Tactless letters intensify. Unfortunately, you are not among the candidates selected for. The grade point average of 2.7 was low compared to the GPAs of other candidates, and second, more important, providing extra information that proved fatal in a lawsuit. Job refusal letter down below is tactful but intentionally vague and implies that applicants' qualifications don't match the needed position. So let's look at it. Doesn't indicate good or bad news. Thanks for letting us review your resume submitted for our advertised management trainee opening. Next, bad news and independent clause. We received a number of impressive resumes for this opening. Although another candidate was selected, your interest in our organization is appreciated. So that you may continue your search for a position at another organization, I'm writing to you immediately. With your credentials, I am certain you will find a suitable position because you have a great deal to offer. Please accept my best wishes for the future. Okay, so that has to make, even though you're being turned down, it's padding it really nice. So conveying negative news, pre-write, plan the opening, provide reasons in the body, soften the bad news, and close pleasantly. Okay, that's it. I'm going to post this video. Oh, no, hang on. I got one more page. Oops, gone too far. There we go. Here's how it turned out. Summary of learning objectives. Here we go again. It's still, this is objective 1, objective 2 to help you kind of summarize it, get a quick shot at what it is. Again, 3, 4, and 5, it should help you with tests. And here's the chapter review. Again, this should help you either with your quizzes or with the final. Okay, so if you have any questions, let me hear from you. Okie dokie.